Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Hamas is a good friend and ally of Russia, it seems like. And obviously, that would be played by these guys here all day long. So, what happened? Hamas agreed to release some Russian, I think all Russian hostages, calling Russia a closest friend. The most close friend. All right, so that's two things. Ready to release all Russian hostages. Remember, those Russian hostages are most likely they have dual citizenship. So they are Jews living in Russia at one point and then going to their land or returning, and they kept the citizenship. Those are the ones, okay? So don't think that those are Putin's or Lavrov's or, I don't know. No, those are Zhimihaz, Zelensky's, which is fine. I'm just making this little comment here or clarification because I think that's the accurate clarification. So people know who's who, what's what. And some bad things happened in Dagestan. I will cover that in next video, probably tonight. So what happened? Let me show you. I have two articles. One from Ukrainska Pravda, and this is from Sunday, 29th of October, 2023. Hamas ready to release all Russian hostages as two are closest friends, end quote. Why are they closest friends? Because the other side showed so much love and compassion and understanding and justice that this guy said, you know what? The Russians did not hurt us. The other ones were involved, and you can see what happened. Musa Abu Marzouk, a member of the Hamas political board and head of its foreign relations department, has reported that Russia is asking the group for information on 8 people held hostage in the Gaza Strip. Quote from Marzouk: "We received a list of citizens with dual citizenship, there you have it, from the Russian side through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are treating this list with the utmost of care and will process it thoroughly because we view Russia as our closest friend." Well, I think, I think that's kind of accurate. You need, unfortunately, when in this world, is like a neighborhood. In a neighborhood, in a bad neighborhood, if you have a business, you have to have protection. Like Al Capone will give you the protection. And if Al Capone abuses you too much with the protection, and you see another guy in a neighborhood that could provide you protection at a lower rate, you're gonna pick that guy. Remember, the third option, which is independent, doesn't exist. So you want it or you want it, you don't want it, you like it or don't like it, you need protection as a small country or a small group. And you get the other one because the other one is in the Middle East, which was Al Capone. And then you want the other protection, the other guy to protect you against this guy because this guy showed you what kind of protection he provides you and has provided in the past, 50, 60 years since they got over there and at least use the 30 years. If you don't want to use the 50 years, 70 years or whatever, use the last 30 years since 1991 when Russia was, Soviet Union was out of the picture. The United States did whatever it wanted over there, and you can tell. So that's why people are and countries are like, we don't want the United States to bring freedom and democracy to our country because we have the examples. Thank you very much. Stay there. But no, they won't stay there. They will chase you like a dog in heat. That's what's going to happen. Like Putin said one time, like an old whore. You can't get rid of her. She's going to keep looking for you. Come back to you and like, oh my God. So same here. So let's get the last part of this article. Marzouk said Hamas is now looking for people on the Russian list to release them. So this is the first one. And the other one is from the Telegraph, who obviously they're more interested in this, right? Hamas called Russia closest friend, promising to release 8 Russian hostages. Well, that's great news. I really don't care about this one, closest friend, because for the reasons I already mentioned, if it's not these guys screwing me deep, I will have the other one not screwing me deep, unless I like it, then I pick the first one, obviously. So Hamas called Russia its closest friend and promised to release 8 Russian hostages kidnapped by its gunmen from Israel. All right, thank you very much. So again, this is the same thing. It says dual nationals in Gaza after the Kremlin handed him a list of captives. And I'm quoting, "We are very attentive to the list and we will handle it carefully because we look at Russia as our closest friend." Now they tell us Hamas has so far only released 4 hostages out of more than 230 that it's gunmen Babi Boo Babi Boo Boo. We all know that. I'm not going to repeat it because these guys repeat it every 7 seconds on the mainstream media, so I'm not going to bother you with that one. I'm not that. So the another one is about the protest in Dagestan. I'm going to cover in a minute. Point is here, yes, you have to, how should I put it? In negotiation, it's a give and take. What the United States did for the past 30 years at least forgot to negotiate. Not forgot, took negotiation and threw it in the garbage, or box it, put it in the vault and say, I don't think we're gonna need this for our Pax Americana for the next millennium or something, or millennia. So then unfortunately they put that aside and they just scraped the negotiation process or the methods they should have, or dialogue and diplomacy, and they remain to their 4, as I always mentioned, 4 ways of American diplomacy nowadays: threats, blackmail, regime change, and invasion. Democracy and freedom, they bring it, made in the USA. And it's unfortunate because if you act like that, on the other side you're gonna create a lot of hatred, and then you ask yourself, why these guys do this to me? Yeah, because they hate our freedom or something garbage like that. Remember September 11th. And then they will not tell hey, well, could it be because of something we've done? No, because we're exceptional. Now, if you start with this kind of stupidity, you will never be able to really solve a problem. And why would they want to solve the problem? It works just fine for them. It divide and conquer, or that's what it is. They let them, like in North Korea. Why would they want those guys to get friendly? They don't want that. Why would they want? That means, like the politician. If the politicians will solve the problems, they would be not needed anymore. And I can expand that to medics. If they would heal everybody, what are they going to do after that? Prevent. So the same here. Hamas jumped on the other boat because this boat showed its face for 30 years. That is, I love you, I hate you. What are you going to do? Look for someone who's going to love you, or at least treat you equal, as an equal, with not equal like Hamas, or Russia's going to treat Hamas as an equal, but at least the incidents in the Middle East between the Palestinians and Israelis. You remember, we've been told about this peace process for about, I don't know how many years. I mean, since I've been hearing around and understanding news a little bit, I heard on the TV the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, the peace process, and Yasser Arafat, and all those guys. I can't remember. It's like, oh my shit. What happened? Nothing. And you consider that in the 80s. So 80s, 90s, right? 2000s, 2020s now. It's like 40 years at least. And they've been still working on the process. And see where it escalated? It escalated because those guys, Hamas, just woke up and say, we're going to do this. How did Hamas get to be in place? And supported by some Palestinians. How? Just because why? Remember? Blackmail, threats. I do something to you. Yes, that's part of the whole thing. Unless you don't want to solve the problem. And then you say, that's not it. Why? Because I don't like it. Well, it's not working like that if you really want to be objective. And Hamas calls Russia best friends. Yeah, they try to cling to the next guy that is probably going to treat them better. Or at least they have another opportunity. Instead of, we know how this guy is, we don't want to go there. Thank you very much. And then you got the October 7th. The Russians did that. Just Hamas woke up in the morning and said, you know what, life is too good, let's go and cross the border because we just don't like those people, because we are just like that. This is what these guys tell us. I don't believe that. I know it's not like that. I don't believe it. I just say it as an expression, but no. It's more than that. It's more than that. Remember when Guterres, United Nations Secretary General, said that Hamas did not happen in a vacuum, or that attack did not happen in a vacuum. Oh my God, Israelis were all upset, the Americans were upset, and that's about it. Why? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm pretty sure all this, our best friends will be used by these guys. Aha! The sponsors of terrorism, right there, the Russians. No, the Russians maybe play a more, I don't know, maybe objective or maybe balanced role in the Middle East, and the other guys obviously want someone who's going to look at their problems, not only at the other one's problems. Hey, I'm going to take care of you, only you. I don't know, no, just you. So the Russians seem to be a little bit more, okay, let's see what happens here, let's see what happens over there. Russia has its own interest. Don't forget that one. It's not, they don't do it because they have a big heart and they somehow, no, they have their own interest as well. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.